I now have the Honda HRX in here. There's my little dog. Don't know what you can see under there, but these off of this engine will fit. But this is a smaller model. I think this is only the 135, but I'll see if they fit. This engine has got a bent crank on it, so I actually fitted it on a mower, cleaned it up and everything. I realised it was shaking and the crank was bent, so it's basically I'll just break this engine for spares. But I'll see if them bits will fit. They may do, they may not. I'll have to see. If you can see there on this Honda HRX, got to this stage now, the carburettor, there it is off. I need to put that plastic piece on as well. It all looks like it will be good, so I'll get that fitted. We now have the carb on. The carb does fit this engine. Whether it runs with it on, I shall see tomorrow, but it does all fit. So when I've seen them listed for sale, the carburettors, it always says they fit the 135s and the 160s, but it doesn't mention the 190s, so I'm not sure why that is, but perhaps because the 190 is a newer engine, they don't want you to know that it will fit the newer ones, because there's loads of the old carbs floating around quite cheap, even to buy they're not very expensive. So I'll give it a fire up tomorrow and see if it runs, and then I'll go from there. If you look there, that's why the drive is crunching. The other side is the same. If you look at this wheel here, that cog's also no good. The other one's a little better, but you can see metal scrapings off of it. So something's gone wrong. I think it might be, if you can see, because that has pushed out. That's the bush bit, like on my other mower, that's pushed out. So I wonder if that's pushed out, because there's a clip that's come off there, like a circlip. I wonder if that's pushed off and then put everything out, and they've carried on using it and it's worn them down. The main drive might be okay. I'll have to look into that. I would think it probably is okay, but I should have a look at that, see what I can do. I can get the wheels and the cogs. I've got a cog for my other HRX, so and the wheels, so it would cost, for 2 new cogs and 2 new wheels, it would cost me about £50 for this. So I do want to make sure everything else is okay first, but I'll have to see, because I will have to have new wheels, I think. So I'll look into it. I've managed to push all the bushing back in. One dust cover, that bit was okay, but I found another one, so that's all ready to go back on now. Can't see any reason but the clip coming off under the fits. Let me try and show you. Fits just up in there. It's like a big circlip thing. It's still hanging down there and there. I think that must be the reason. So I'll see if I can get it back together and see how much better it is. Got it back on now. The cog's back on. Yeah, it's working now. It's a little bit stiff, but that should loosen up. I did manage to find a cog, because my one's got a worn cog in the back wheel, so it keeps wearing these cogs out. So I've had a few that ain't too bad. They're a lot better than the ones that come off of it. So to try it out, at least I can do that now. I've got the back wheels all back together now. I didn't show you before what it sounded like, but it was really crunching bad. But that seems quite good. If I put the spare old wheels and that back on, and the spare bits I had, the cogs, it's not too bad. So it will definitely be good enough for me to give it a try out. So at least I've managed to see what the state of the back wheels are like. Here we go. It's starter time for the Honda HRX. So I'll see if it runs. It did have a fuel leak, but I think it was just the float was stuck, so I'll see if it starts. Here we go. Okay then, it ran and everything seemed to work, but I don't know what that bearing-y sort of noise is. It seems to stop when I put the blade on, so I wonder if it needs lubricating, or the bearing on the blade brake is no good, but we'll have to see. The drive seems to work, so that's good. So I'm getting there. The engine, it can't be an engine product because when I put the blade in it's quiet, so I'll have a look and go from there. If you look under there, it looks pretty rusty and horrible, so I think I'll take the blade off and give everything a clean and then go from there. I think that could well be the problem. The sort of brake disc piece is worn down that side, where you see it's shiny compared to that side. The bearing, you can see it's a bit dark, but the bearing looks quite good, so I think that could be the culprit. I've cleaned it up, I'll try it back on and give it a go. If not, I'll have to get one of these and see if that corrects the problem. But that probably won't be yet, so I'll run it up and then see how it goes. I tried it again, maybe a slight improvement, but when the blade brake isn't on it's really noisy still, so I'll have to look into that. I think it's probably that clutch disc thing, but like I said, I'll leave the video here because I won't be finishing this quite at the moment because it's going to cost a few pounds to sort it out, but I definitely know it's a good mower and it runs well. The drive seems to be really quick and responsive, so that's good. So I've just got to sort out them things. I probably shall need back wheels for it, new back cogs and that clutch piece, but it'll cost me probably about, I should imagine, about £100 in all, if there isn't any more unforeseen things it needs. But I'm pleased with that. It's been sitting outside under a cover for a while and been wanting to get on with that, so at least I know it's a goer. So thanks for watching.